Ricky Glover Jr., 19-95.
Your Honor, we'd waive a formal reading of the charges, enter a plea of not guilty, and ask if we could be heard as to bond.
Okay.
Judge, it's my understanding that Mr. Glover's bond is set at $20,000. Court's aware of the charges that he has against him. Mr. Glover shares that he has some fairly significant ties to the area. He has young children that live here. He has parents, grandparents, things along those lines. He shares that if he can make bond, that he would live, and reading from my notes, he would live with his grandmother, I believe. We'd ask the court to set his bond at $5,000 cash or professional.
I'm not opposed to a $5,000 cash bond. However, this gentleman is charged with selling methamphetamine in this community, it looks like on 3 occasions.
Does he have any prior?
That's the one thing I don't have. It's too soon. I will say, Your Honor, when this gentleman was confronted by law enforcement, he did run on Tuesday, December 18th. When they attempted to arrest this man pursuant to a search warrant, he fled the residence and had to be tracked.
No, sir, I wasn't home at the
A
time.
canine unit
That's
for
not true.
approximately
Mr.
1
Glover,
mile.
this isn't the time to debate the merits of the case.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry.
I'm going to just leave it where it's at.
Very well.
You may stand aside, sir. Marla Pennington, 18-88, on a revocation. You have a lawyer, ma'am?
No, not that I'm aware yet. I've always had Mark Cooper represent me in the past, but I have not spoken to a lawyer since I've been incarcerated here in the last week.
Are you going to hire a lawyer?
No, sir, I need a public defender.
Okay, fill out an application.
Sir, I already did.
Okay, you got an application. They say you didn't fill out one. They don't have it,
Okay.
one of the two.
Okay, I filled it out last night, so,
Okay. Well, I'll have you reappear on April 11th for attorney status and arraignment.
okay, I won't be, arraignment is just would I plea, or will I be
Okay.
sentenced that day?
Tell you what, we can just do the arraignment right now. We'll enter a plea of not true. Is that okay?
That's fine, that's
Okay.
fine. I just I'm wondering what's gonna happen to me.
Well, you're going to appear on April 11th for us to see who your lawyer is.
Okay.
Anything else?
And then what happens from there?
Then I'll set a hearing date and we'll have a hearing.
Okay.
to see
How
what-
far out will the hearing be?
Oh, I don't know. Probably April 25th.
Okay. And when I'm sentenced at that time, will the time that I'm here count?
Depends on what you're sentenced to. Yes, possibly.
Okay.
All right.
Because I would imagine I'm gonna get, what, like an 89-day sentence probably?
Have no idea, ma'am. I don't know anything about the allegations, but
Okay.
all right.
Alrighty, thank you.
Well, thank you. Weston Robertson, 19-111. Are you Weston Robertson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I have appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And you're appearing for an arraignment, it appears.
Your Honor, we'd waive a formal reading of the charges and enter a plea of not guilty.
Okay, we'll enter the plea of not guilty, and if we haven't already, we'll schedule the matter for hearings and trial.
Very well. Thank you, Judge.
You may stand aside, sir. Thank you. Brittany Saunders, 19-114. Endangering the welfare of a minor, battery in the first.
Judge, on 2019-114, we'd waive a formal reading of the charges, enter a plea of not guilty.
Okay, I'll have her appear before Judge Webb on
Your Honor, I would ask.
April 18th, yes.
I would ask that we'll file a motion with the court. We have 2019-13 and a revocation that's 18-121 on this court's docket. we'll file a motion to transfer 19-114 to this court's docket, and those cases can track.
All right.
And, Your Honor, if I may say to Ms. Saunders, for us to represent you on the new case, you'll need to fill out a new application for the public defender.
Okay.
Right.
You may stand aside. Thank you. State versus James Scaparo, 19-109. Possession of controlled substances, firearms for certain persons.
Yes, sir.
Sir, appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you in 19-109. Let's see. He's already entered a plea of not guilty. Let me go to 01-146.
Your Honor, we've entered a plea of not true.
Yeah, I don't know who signed that. I guess we'll just have to find out, and then I'll schedule it. You'll remind me to do that. You may stand aside, sir.
James, I'll be in touch. There's a few things I need to say to the prosecutor, and I'll be back in touch with you.
All right, will that be this afternoon, sir?
I hope, but I can't promise that.
Okay,
All
all right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nathaniel Campbell, 18-523, drug paraphernalia, possession with purpose to deliver controlled substances, drugs and firearms, possession of firearms for certain persons. You have a lawyer, sir?
Yes, I do.
Who is your lawyer?
Cooper was representing me.
Okay.
I think he might present him on his other case on the division floor.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
it's my understanding that this man has made applications for the Judge Webb cases, but he hasn't applied for the Public Defender's Office on this particular case. Miss Amy from our office shares that she has asked several times for him to do so. If he will do so and do so promptly, that would help this case move forward.
Okay, sir, I'll have you appear on April 11th at 10 o'clock for attorney status.
Thank you.
Michael Behrens, 18-477.
Yes, sir.
Theft of property.
Judge, these cases are set for trial next week. The state and I have had some significant discussions about this. We don't have an agreement on both cases. Mr. Behrens has been in jail since, I believe, September of 2018. He'd like to be considered for a bond reduction, understanding with trial next week, it might not be all that worthwhile, but I would ask the court
What
to...
is his bond?
Judge, we'd just like to try this man next week.
Okay. It will probably be at least Wednesday before I get to it, maybe Thursday.
That'll be fine.
All right.
Very. May he stand aside then?
Yes. Tony Griffin, 18-339.
Judge, Mr. Griffin is not in this courtroom. He is in the Arkansas Department of Corrections. We actually sent 2 officers down we had a pickup order to get him, and he had some medical issue, and they took that man to Malvern, and they told us that, we had our officers down there. I think they went to Varner, I think. Was it Varner? And they said you could wait on him, but he would be back, it could be 10 o'clock at night when he got back. Apparently he had some medical issue they could only take care of in Malvern, so they brought him back. The officers came back without him, and I don't know when he got back there, but we could just set that for the next time you're going to be here.
April 11th. We'll have him appear on April 11th.
We'll get a pickup order for him.
Through with Ashley Jackson, 16-157. Judge Webb took the plea. In that case, let me look at the other cases. do you represent Ms. Jackson?
Judge, she's made application of the public defender's office. Would it be more efficient to have Judge Webb sign that application, or go ahead and present it to the court?
That doesn't matter.
If I may approach them.
I took the plea in 15-359. In 15-359, we'll enter a plea of not guilty. We'll have a hearing on April 11th. In 16-157, 16-109, appear before Judge Webb for hearing on April 18th.
Would you rather me ask for the 25th? Just move it there.
You may stand aside, ma'am. Jennifer, is it later? 14?
Yes, sir.
14
Later.
14296, 13-72,
If I may approach.
revocation, yes.
Judge,
Ma'am, I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, we'd enter a plea of not true to the petition.
We'll enter pleas
I'm
of not true. I'll set the matter for hearing on April 18th, 9:30. Thank you, ma'am.
April 18th?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Jared Felice, 14-114, on a revocation. I don't know who signed this, but who took, do you know who signed the sentencing order?
I'm looking, Judge.
Judge Webb signed it. Do you have a lawyer, sir?
No, sir.
Are you gonna hire a lawyer?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I got an application for public defender I have to fill out.
Wait
Your
just a
Honor, I'm
second.
his mother. I work for an attorney out of Claiborne County. His attorney would be John Clay.
John Clayton,
Yes, sir.
okay. We'll enter a plea of not true to these allegations and set the matter for hearing on April 18th, 9:30. You may stand aside, sir. Joseph Kinsinger, 18-365, forgery, theft.
Judge, Mr. Kinsinger had reached out to me via social media the other day. I hadn't had a chance to call him. I assume he knows to be here today.
Hey, this warrant shall issue bond forfeit. The notice is assured. Margaret Driska, 19-107. Endangering the welfare of a minor, several counts, controlled substances, paraphernalia. Ma'am, I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you. You appear for an arraignment. How does she plead?
She waives the formal reading of the charges, enter a plea of not guilty.
We'll enter the plea of not guilty. We'll send out a scheduling notice. Donald Patterson, 14-105. It's a revocation.
That's a non-payment.
Non-payment. Have you been able to make any payments?
No, sir, I'd sent a bill up here on that checking account for,
Have you made any payments?
no, sir, I owe like $1,900. I paid that to the last 2,000.
This gentleman, Mr. Patterson, did you talk to me on the phone?
Yes,
Did
sir,
you
and I faxed you a
Did
bank
you
receipt.
ask him if he posted a $2,000 bond, cash bond?
Did you post a $2,000?
Yes, sir, I
cash
did.
bond?
Yes,
I
sir, I
think
did.
that'll take care of it. If we can pass this, I'll call the
Okay,
check.
we pass this case, Judge. We might have it resolved. Okay, go ahead and have a seat.
Your Honor, sir, could I talk to you a minute? I've wrestled this around and I've spent about $35,000 on this thing, and I finally got the bank statement on that account that this thing was drawed on. I never was on the account, sir. I never was on the bank account. I've tried to get my point across up here, and I'd faxed him the bank deals when I got them in my divorce. I'd faxed him the bank slips where I wasn't, and they finally put me on as a user so I could try to figure out what happened to this money, you know, on that $26,000. But, and I wished I could get the court to look at this today, if I could. I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Wait just a minute.
Sir, did you?
Sir, looks like you came in here and pled guilty to it
Yes, sir. They told me I'd either,
on August 11th of 16.
yeah, they told me I'd either do that or I kept telling them, I said, folks, we need to get the bank information. And I was using Matt Diller for a lawyer. I don't know why. But they come up here that day and they said, Donald, you either do that or they're going to put you in jail for 3 years. You either agree to this and I had another deal done on that deal they made me sign. They wanted to not have a warrant to come in, that they didn't have to have a warrant to come in my house. I said, I'm not agreeing with that. And they asked me about my guns. I said, yeah, we got guns. And I wouldn't agree with that. You can check that.
It's a little
But
late now.
I tried to talk to you that day, you know, up here, and it just,
3 years, sir. It's a little late now.
it's been 2 years, sir.
2 years, a little late now.
You understand what I'm saying? I didn't, but you understand, sir, I think I've got this paid, but there ain't way I can get this off my record. I've had,
I'd consult a lawyer, sir.
well, that's the trouble, sir. I've spent so much money, I've,
2014 case, 2014.
yes, sir, and I know. That's what I said, but something fell through the cracks here with this, and I told them, and they said, and they told me that y'all had the deal that I was on the bank account.
What's fell through the cracks is you have to contain it, sir. We'll deal with it later.
Judge, I do believe that the last time Mr. Patterson was arrested, he posted enough bond to pay off the restitution and fines and costs that are owed. I truly believe that. So he may be done with it today.
So just have a seat.
Walter Pittaway, 19-77, drug paraphernalia, possession with purpose to deliver controlled substances. Who represents you, sir?
Timothy Watson out of Newport.
Timothy Watson. Tell you what, I'm gonna recall your case. You go give him a call and he can enter an appearance in the case.
Okay.
James Foster, 18-373, drug paraphernalia.
Your Honor, there is something in our file that said that Mr. Foster entered the Quapaw House in August of 2018. I called the Quapaw House beginning in January to try and get an update. I never could get through. I finally talked to someone at Quapaw House. That gentleman is not there. I'd like an alias.
Alias warrant shall issue, bond forfeit, give notice to any surety. Ryan Kinsley, 18-398, furnishing prohibited articles, theft of property. Ryan Kinsley, alias warrant shall issue, bond forfeit, give notice to any surety. Justin Hickman, 18-197, 18-211, 18-241, 18-394.
He's on for next week for trial. We'll leave him on.
Judge, what case of Mr. Hickman's is set for trial next week?
All of them.
All of them? Okay. All right.
I don't know what they are or not, but I'm gonna have to make Baxter County a backup to every single case I got to catch it up.
Right.
We've got 57 cases set for jury trial next week. Jessica Inman, 18-347, breaking or entering, theft of property, criminal mischief.
Judge, you called Jessica Inman, correct?
I did.
She is a co-defendant with a man named Fred Tandy. We have a conflict within our office. She has just been assigned to Mr. Cooper. We'll be filing a motion to continue her case so Mark can visit with her and get things squared away.
Free to go.
Thank you.
Fred Tandy, 18353. Theft, criminal mischief, breaking or entering.
Judge, Mr. Tandy is with us and is shared with the court. We have an issue with the conflict within our office. I have kept Mr. Tandy. I've had just a limited time to visit with him. We'll be filing a motion to continue this case to the May setting. We'll be able to get it. If we can't get it resolved before then, we'll get it resolved then.
Free to go. Justin Watson, 17321. Breaking or entering, theft. It's on the revocation, it says. Right?
I think it's restitution here.
It's a restitution hearing. And Your Honor, Paul Bayless is supposed to be representing me. I've been in contact with him. He said he was here this morning. It was to my understanding, I called the deputy clerk of the circuit court and she said that I didn't have any open cases. So Paul said that he just happened to be in court today and just now heard about it. It was to my understanding whenever I spoke to, I don't know her name, I stopped in and tried getting a date set for the restitution hearing because I got revocated over it and I had never been found guilty of it. And yeah, so I'm waiting on Paul Bayless right now to. It says in the court notes, I've read them myself. It says $10,000 to be determined, not to exceed. And that was one of the reasons I got revocated and sentenced to 89 days in jail. But I do not know where Paul
There's a
is.
sentencing order in here where you were found guilty.
I
You say you've never been found guilty?
never been found guilty. There was,
Never entered a plea on
it
this?
was the first court case.
Judge, my recollection of this case is this involved a theft from a man named Billy Willett. This gentleman, along
This was
with two
through-
others, would have entered his home and stole what he said was $45,000 and 11 guns. I believe this young man would have been a minor at the time. He was 17 years old.
Yes, I had just
He
heard.
was actually helpful in our investigation, being a minor. And
And
I
I
think the other individual in that was Logan Walters, and the other individual was,
He gets done talking.
I don't remember, maybe it was someone
Yes,
named Eric.
sir.
But anyway, I remember because of his assistance, Mr. Bayless represented him, and we agreed that whatever his restitution would be, that it would not exceed $10,000, because even though we thought there was a lot more than that taken. And I remember at least that part of it.
There's a sentencing order which finds him guilty, so
I remember that.
we'll see if we can get Mr. Bayless over here. We'll recall your case.
okay. Do you need me to call Paul? Is that what I need to do?